What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. My name is Mike. Joining us for this Andor reaction series will be Jenny.
Hey, guys.
Actually, you know what? We're not going to guarantee that Jenny's going to be here for the entire length of the series, but
I'm into it. I'm planning to be.
She's here at least for these first 3 episodes, dropped all at once for us at 3 a.m., and I had just commented to Jenny, I think it's going to be like 20-minute episodes, 25-minute episodes, because there's 12 of them, apparently, and multiple seasons
Lo and behold.
Got some 40-minute episodes coming up, which is, ordinarily that I'm like, woo, yay. But as a having to do all these reaction videos, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of material. And I'm actually kind of impressed that there is this much material.
Yeah, that's a lot of coverage for them to shoot.
So what I'm hoping is that means that we can kind of take our time. Like, we've been commenting in our She-Hulk reaction series about how, because of the format or the way they're kind of doing it, it's not really in a rush to do anything specific. It can kind of just do what it wants to do. These are characters from the movie Rogue One, specifically Cassian and Andor. You were mentioning that Rogue One is a lot of people's favorite Star Wars movie.
It's my favorite Star Wars movie, personally. I think it's a masterpiece.
It's a really good movie, and it's definitely, you're not going to get much people arguing that it's definitely the best of the Disney era Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
So the characters we already know are, Cassian Andor's fate. That's one subject that, we're about to watch a show about a guy who we already know.
We already know how and when he dies.
But we were talking about how it's always interesting in the Star Wars universe to, yes, we kind of like know the story, and we're seeing a new story kind of like from the perspective of a character that we already know. Not necessarily, we already know this character's story. We're seeing a larger story, and he's a character in it.
Well, what you were just saying about not necessarily being in a hurry to get somewhere, that's, for starters, the beauty of having a television show as opposed to a film, where you're within this like tight time frame and you have to accomplish story goals. But also, because we already know where this character ends up and where some of the other characters that we're going to see again end up, this is really like a chance for them to deepen our understanding of a particular moment in the Star Wars timeline.
And I think actually we're probably going to be, since we want to see where he's coming from, there's going to be a little bit of an expansion of this timeline. It's not necessarily going to be, we're going to
we might see some scenes from his childhood or
so
things
we're going to
like
get a little bit more backstory. Perhaps we'll even see some Order 66. Like, we'll see some earlier Clone Wars era stuff, maybe in flashback form. We could do all the speculation in the world, but really we're just excited to have some new material. I'm excited that it's Star Wars in particular.
I know we're going to see several of the characters that we already met in Rogue One. Do you expect that we'll see other characters?
You know what? This is another thing we mentioned real quick, was that I was talking about how we got this highly updated facial technology in Book of Boba Fett for Luke Skywalker, and Rogue One was sort of like where it all began. And, you watch it now, and Tarkin looks, it's rudimentary for what they do now. It's not as bad as like Jeff Bridges and Tron or whatever, which is like really where it started, the whole, deep fake technology. But now, like, they're so on top of it. I'm wondering if we're going to see Tarkin in this even better than he looked in Rogue One. Because they did it for Book of Boba Fett.
Possibly other characters as well.
Yeah, we'll see. The thing is, though, is that there's a little bit more of a different production approach to this. They're not using what they've been using for Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian, which is the volume. It's that big room where they can basically film anything.
Yeah.
Here, this is a lot more practical, on-site, actual filming of locations.
So what I wanted to ask was, for example, in the Book of Boba Fett, we got to meet the live-action version of Cad Bane, which was like a huge, exciting moment.
Yep.
Do you expect that we might see some characters show up who haven't yet appeared in live-action form?
It's entirely possible. It's just one of the things that makes me really excited to dive into some new Star Wars. I know people that have seen the first, 4 episodes or whatever of Andor have commented that it's not necessarily the most Easter egg heavy material. So as reactors, we may just be kind of absorbing material, not so much being like, ooh, look at that's that part from A New Hope where they're in the garbage compactor, and you're like, they're blatantly showing you an Easter egg. We may not necessarily be feasting on so much of that. But anyway, guys, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of talk. We're really eager to jump in and get this going, and we'll discuss it afterwards. We'll see you then. This almost reminds me of Corellia, the beginning of Solo. Okay, Morlana 1. New planet!
That's not a planet we know, is it?
Oh. Okay, before the Battle of Yavin, 5 years. So 5 years before A New Hope. This is very
Which also effectively means 5 years before Rogue One.
Yes, basically.
Upstairs lounge is closed tonight.
I mentioned Tron. I'm already getting like a Tron vibe
this
right
serious Tron vibe with the little neon strips.
Walking
and
into the bar with the synth music and the
Maybe it's their little tribute to Tron.
Yeah.
Are you from Canary? Nostalgic, are we? Let me go and check on that for you. There was a girl from Canary, but she left several months ago.
This girl from Canary. Any idea where she went? I'm looking for my sister.
I had a feeling that's where that was going.
You should leave.
What was her name?
Nobody here gives their real name.
Stop right there! Employees are required to present their IDs upon request.
You have to kick these guys' asses? Is that what's gonna happen?
Oh, the pocket.
Well, that was too easy.
Throat punch.
Get up! Get him up! Hello! He tried to grab you and he fell. And he
In
hit his
Rogue
head.
One, he kills his own guy. I have a feeling he'll kill this guy. I don't know.
Tell him what happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, if he'll kill his own man,
Yeah.
he's definitely gonna shoot this guy in the face.
There's that whole speech that he gives to Jyn in Rogue One about how, like, all the people joining her little rebellion have done bad things, but they all did it for the sake of the Alliance, you know?
Oh, cool. That was almost like a modified, like, Y-Wing or something. Ferrix. So, same system. Morlani, right? Morlani 1 was the... Okay.
Aw, space warthogs.
What? Oh, cool.
Oh, the indignity.
Droid humor.
It's Wally.
Yeah. You're right. It does have a little bit, like, with
Like
the treads and the...
Right? A little
yeah.
Wally vibe.
And this is his little home. 100% a Wally
Wally
reference.
vibe.
Yes.
I brought what you told me.
Oh, okay.
Kassa! Regional Evancello!
This must be the sister that he's now looking for.
Yep. They obviously don't get very many visitors
No.
on this planet.
I might not even have seen a ship like that before.
Yeah. No, they
Yeah.
Running!
Yeah, this is a primitive village, right? We don't see technology.
This is an
Anywhere.
indigenous
Yeah,
people.
they're not spacefaring.
Penny brought supper in Marva's medicine. And then Jesse came back.
Speaks like Max Headroom. Mamarva's medicine.
Pausing for data lag.
Tell me what she said.
Retention summons info.
Don't tell anybody you saw me. Don't tell anybody you know where I am.
I can't come with you.
Not now. I don't have time.
Oh.
Aww.
The eye of this droid looks a lot like Hal from Space Odyssey, which makes me wonder if this droid's gonna turn on him at some point.
Mm-hmm. The architecture's interesting here. This is a new kind of urban
It has
landscape.
it has the same, dirt road western feel as a lot of Star Wars cities, but
more of like
slightly-
an urban architecture.
yeah, cool, man. Cool practical effects. They've really gotten really a lot better at the whole Star Wars extras and like. Oh, cool.
Nice. It's like a mine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
When it's done, pull your boots on and get to work. You look like a wreck.
Tell your mother she can afford to put the heating on. It was freezing there last night.
You've been very busy.
2 men are dead, sir. Employees. That's not worth staying up for, then I'm not worthy of the uniform.
Have you modified your uniform?
Perhaps slightly. Pockets piping and some light tailoring.
Oh, I know this guy. I went to grad school with him.
We have some excellent leads.
A human with dark features asking about a Canary girl who might have been working in the establishment.
I'm sure that in several days, with the proper resources, I can bring this case to a...
Stop. I don't mean just the talking, I mean stop. I want you to conjure a suitable accident.
But...
And let's make sure it's on the far side of the plaza. Let's get it outside the leisure zone. Something sad but inspiring in a mundane sort of way. You look stricken, Deputy Inspector. Are you absorbing my meaning here?
Trying, sir.
Minimizing the time the Empire spends thinking about Preox Morlana benefits our superiors and, by extension, everyone here, which at the moment includes you.
Sweep it under the rug.
A lot of corporate politics.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Just like corporate politics on Earth.
So this guy seems like the brown noser who wants to get up the ladder, but also like he...
Bit of a Boy Scout.
He sees that as like a wrong move. Like, no,
Yeah.
we should be going after this guy.
Yeah.
So he's going to try to one-up his superior by like going against his orders or whatever.
We're going to
Seems-
find out.
yeah. Too ambitious for his own shoes.
Yes.
Oh, I went to grad school with that guy too.
Yeah. Bunch of British actors. That's a female.
I'm busy.
What?
And she's pretty. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done?
I got an untraceable NS9 Starpath unit.
Call your guy or not?
Do you know how much that's worth?
Yeah. Enough to get out of here. Lay low till things cool off. My hands
Are we
on the grip.
betting on the Wabani run tomorrow?
What?
There's a Wabani run coming. Jeff wants to know if we're in on it.
Wobani's another planet. An Imperial planet.
It looks like it's turned into something more than work.
Do I ask about your personal life?
Just promise he knows nothing about any of this.
No. He knows nothing about any of it.
I really need this.
I'll let him know.
What are these? 5 of
So she's helping him smuggle stolen goods to a shady third party.
Yes.
Then you better find yourself a less complicated woman. Good luck with that.
This is back on Canary again.
Yeah, another flashback. So this is like a youth ritual.
Some sort of
All-
ritual
all-
they're doing. Yeah.
You're not old enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's no subtitles, or do I just not have them on? No, they would be hard-coded.
And as something just strolls through the checkpoint. I don't know what's more disturbing, the fact that our corporate borders are unprotected or your complacence about it. Find it. Whatever it is, I want to know when it left and where it went.
You'd have to filter the entire night.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
don't
too
worry.
much for you, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So this guy's almost like turning into a quality control for the Empire.
Yeah.
Do your job.
This happened.
Reg, very nice to see you.
What's the name of the planet again? Molani or something like that?
Whoa.
It's clearly
Without
everybody
the
that's native to this
system.
planet has a British accent.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and they're also justifying Diego Luna's Mexican accent by being like, he's from this planet where they speak a different language.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Okay, so now her boyfriend sees her being shady. Yeah.
It's funny how they've got Scottish accents in space.
They got all types of accents. Yeah.
He's like, what are you up to, girl?
I've never been to Galaxy's Edge, the Disney Star Wars thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is definitely reminiscent of their environment on Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I keep noticing the sound design. Do you have both earbuds or just one?
the one.
There's some very good stereo sound effects going on.
Okay.
That I'm noticing.
Yeah, when I put both
The
in, I have
Foley,
trouble
I'm
hearing
noticing
you.
the Foley, basically. Oh, okay, so it's like Morse code, Underground Railroad. She's
sending out
messaging
a
him.
signal. Yeah.
Yep.
Look alive. He's on his way up.
Is he even allowed to?
Love some blue noodles.
You know they're gonna be selling those at Galaxy's Edge now. Blue noodles.
Blue noodles.
Yep.
Just a drop of blue
go
food
next to blue milk.
coloring.
Is it not under our jurisdiction?
Technically.
We are simply asking for information.
Have you ever been there?
What difference does that make?
They have their own way of doing things.
Put out a bulletin. Canary human men wanted for questioning. Slam their channels, flood it. In?
I love this character.
Let's go!
It's the guy that like takes his job too seriously.
Yep.
But it's like needed, right? Because he's the only guy that does take it seriously enough.
Yeah.
So it's like he takes it too seriously, but he's getting it done when no one else is.
No more favors, no more deals. Listen.
Don't.
Finish up. Get out. Don't come back.
We see the same species of hound dog in Solo. Okay. He's gonna go off with the big kids when he should be sticking around with her.
Watching his sister.
And they're gonna get separated, yeah. Yeah, he's trying to be one of the big kids. It's got that like uncontacted Amazonian tribe kind of thing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so okay, so you know what? This was kind of exactly what we were talking about at the very beginning of the episode, where I was like, people said it's great, but this is not the Easter egg heavy fan service that you may be
this is
anticipating.
simple storytelling.
Very simple storytelling, and I first really noticed it in that scene with the like, you know, groveling wannabe employee who's now kind of like the main investigator getting things done. Where he was talking to the Thaddeus Ross looking, you know, guy with the white mustache.
Yeah.
That it was like, whoa, they're kind of taking their time in this scene, like showing very character. Like, this guy's a character. This guy's a character.
Yeah.
They have distinct personalities, and like they left a little bit of room for like bringing that character out. Rather than just like having him say a couple lines, like they kind of really like a lot of what he was saying was just sort of like giving him a vibe and giving him a, you know, they were able to take their time and tell the scene. It wasn't about like, oh, look at that little Easter egg over there. I'm sure there's plenty we can go back and look and see some you know, like there's your stereotypical gonk droid or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you get those little Star Wars, and I was particularly noticing the audio. It's always pretty good. The audio is always great in Star Wars. It's one of like the main characters of Star Wars is the sound design. But here I was really noticing they were creating the environment with the sound.
You were saying the Foley, the sound effects.
I was noticing it. I'm in really good stereo headphones.
I only wear one because I have trouble hearing you when I have them both in. But
as a you know, audio professional, I can say, that I was noticing that they put time into the Foley. It was like where she would like go behind some like tubes or whatever, and you'd hear the like rustling of the tubes like subtly, but it created a very distinct sort of 3D audio environment, which I like that ambiance. The ambiance is huge. There's even if you look on Disney Plus, Star Wars has a like it's in episodes, but it's sort of like the soundscapes of Star Wars, and there's no, you know, characters are talking. It's basically just like, you know, ships and sounds that you're familiar with in the Star Wars universe, and you can hear a lot of them very, you know, they're subtle and they're in the background, but all those little audio hints really, like I said, it creates an environment. And like I said, that they've clearly been getting a lot better at creating that environment, not just with the audio, but also like the extras I pointed out, where it's like there's like there was a giant practical effect creature like walking across the shot. It was in the shot for like 2 seconds. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, that was you know, $200,000 item or something. It was like, who knows? It looked complicated. But but it would, they put a lot into just a quick little moment of just like making it feel like, oh, I'm in a real marketplace with real people. And that's noticeable.
Really creating the atmosphere.
Yeah.
There were two storytelling elements of this that I found really fascinating. The first is that his people, his tribe, it's obviously an indigenous tribe. We've seen a lot of very, very pro-indigenous material in the Star Wars universe. Both The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett have hit that very, very hard, like right on the head. But, when they see that flaming ship coming through the atmosphere, that might as well be like the Wampanoag watching the Mayflower come in. Like 100% that's what that is.
We love Jenny on this channel, guys, because she says stuff like that, and it's like, yes, oh my God, I totally yeah.
If we're looking at historical precedent in our own world, that's not going anywhere good for his people. So I have great trepidation about what's about to happen to this peaceful little fishing village.
Like we just said, like they were kind of telegraphing, oh, he's going off with the big kids. Some kind of
they're gonna
trouble
get
is going to go down. She's going to get taken by the Empire
and or the corporation. So that's the other thing that I find really interesting is this idea of a company town. Right when he walked in the brothel at the beginning and said, you should help them, this is a company town.
Yeah.
Meaning go take care of the company employees. It's like GE or one of those big companies that literally built towns. There's that movie that's coming out right now, Don't Worry, Darling, about the 1950s company town.
Yep.
Right? Where everything, all the services that you would ever need are encompassed in the one town, and you can only shop using like company dollars. You have like chits instead of actual money.
Yes.
But this entire star system apparently is owned by this one corporation, which is engaged in the corporate cover-up and the dirty politics and all of that. But they're going to give their report to their shareholders basically within the Imperial meeting that he's going to.
Yep.
So it's very relatable in the real world. We have lots of corporate politics around us in real life. But I found that like a very interesting thing to put into the Star Wars universe, this idea of like a corporation that runs on corporate rules. So that's something that I'm interested to see explored more in the next
what else I
episodes.
noticed was the so like for instance, the guy with the white mustache gave a pretty clear order to the brown noser guy. Like, sweep this under the rug
Cover
and
it up,
move
move
ahead
along,
move along. So he got his order and he's already not following orders and investigating, beyond his capacity, essentially. And like we were pointing out, like he's obviously the only person who's doing the job that needs to be done, but he's not following orders. So he's an Empire guy that's just kind of like disregarding what his superior
guy,
sure,
more specifically.
but also that pretty mechanic lady that's Cassian's friend was like going behind her own boyfriend's back to do shady shit with Cassian, like, and it's like, so even the good guys have their I'm going back on what I've told my boss I'm going to do kind of thing. So like this is yet another thing that Rogue One did great with Cassian specifically. We mentioned like we knew he was going to kill that guy that tried to rob him in the street
because he killed his own informant in Rogue One
in the beginning of and that was one of those like, oh, okay, this is like the guy is willing to do what has to be done in order to
I mentioned in Rogue One when the small scrappy group of rebels agreed to join Jyn and go to steal the plans. He gives her this speech where he says, we've all done bad things, but everything I've done for the rebellion.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a very compelling picture of like the cost of war. Everybody has to do things they're not proud of. Your loyalties are tested. What's her loyalty to her boyfriend or to, whatever it is she's doing with Cassian.
Like he's an ex-boy. They have an ex.
They have some kind of history thing going. They have some chemistry.
Yeah.
That's not accidental. But I mean, that's really like an indictment of the cost of war. Is that like everybody's going to have to do things they're not proud of or that might not be their according to their better angel.
Yeah.
And so we're already seeing that here in the early days of the show.
Yeah. But also like he didn't actually specifically mention the rebellion at any one point in this. This is 5 years beforehand, and his main mission still seems to be like finding his sister or whatever. That was what he was really concerned with. So we don't know whether he's been like looking for her for like 20 years or whatever, or 10 years.
We're
however
not
old
sure
he's
yet
supposed
how
to be.
long, when the last time is they saw each other. Was that the last time when he went off with the big kids?
Mhm.
Or is there more story to discover there?
So, like, and we have seen this preview scene with Stellan Skarsgård coming up where he seems like he's getting recruited into the rebellion, essentially. So
Yeah.
I think that's why he isn't really even part of the rebellion at this
No,
point.
he's some kind of miner or mechanic or some combination of the two.
Yeah.
Who's working in this, like, mining colony, basically.
Yep. Guys,
So,
interesting so far. And like we pointed out, like I'm surprised at the episode lengths, and there's going to be a lot of ambiance. Like I said, a lot of taking your time in this, and I'm enjoying that. That's kind of what we said we wanted. So I'm excited to jump into the following episodes and seeing where this goes, guys. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're putting up fully unedited reactions on patreon.com/JediJive. Go check it out. We'll see you in the next one, guys.
Peace.